Hello everyone, welcome back to Just Invest Today. In today's video, we're going to talk about Alibaba's Q3 2023 earnings. Alibaba stock is down 5% for today, 11% in the last 5 days. You would have thought Alibaba had the worst earnings, but right now it doesn't matter. The market is killing Alibaba's stock, even though Alibaba had a really good earnings report despite what's going on in China. And we're going to see a strong recovery going into Q4 and going into Q1, which I'm super excited about. That's why it's so important just to ignore the market and what it does, because it's an auction-driven market. And even Warren Buffett tells you all the time, you should be happy owning these companies for 5 to 10 years plus. You should be okay owning the company if the market was closed off for the next 5 to 10 years. So we're going to go over Alibaba's earnings report, what we're seeing, and what's the good news, what's the bad news of Alibaba stock. But before we do, like and subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you. Alibaba stock is at $89 today. I'm still shocked at this price. Anybody with a pulse or understands investing knows that Alibaba is worth way more than this, but it doesn't matter. The market is just giving it these horrible multiples at this point, not pricing the company where it's supposed to be, even though the intrinsic value is way higher. So going into the earnings results, you can see that Alibaba did what it's supposed to do, especially knowing the economic background of China right now with the zero COVID policy, with consumption down because people are not trying to spend a lot. People are just spending on health and fitness stuff. They're going against general consumption in the Chinese market, but that's about to recover heavily ever since China opened up, which is actually huge for the Chinese economy. 3 months ended December 31st, year over year, total revenue up 2%, which is actually pretty good despite what's going on in China. China commerce down 1%. This produces the most revenue for Alibaba, but it's down 1% because of the backdrop of China. So when this reversal happens into Q4 and into Q1, it's going to shoot up strong because the consumer demand is going up and Alibaba has presented that evidence. Consumers are starting to spend more money as they get more confidence into the market. International commerce up 18%. Trendable in Turkey and Southeast Asia, Lazada is producing good results. I'm super happy with that. Local consumer services up 6%. Xiao Now, this is the logistics service, up 27%. So you're seeing the recovery happen very, very strong, which is actually amazing. Cloud up 3%. This is kind of disappointing, but you can expect that to kind of pick up very soon. Daniel said he's taking over this position, this role on the cloud market. Plus, China is underdeveloped in the whole IT cloud space. So this is going to shoot up very, very soon, hopefully. It might take a few months, maybe a few years, but this is going to expect to grow as China hasn't even reached like 5%, maybe a little bit less than 5% of the cloud market. And Chinese companies are going to start spending on cloud now that the whole COVID lift is over. Digital media down 6%, innovation down 20%. Income from operations up 14%, which is amazing. This is what it's all about. Alibaba is talking about producing cash and being more efficient. So we're going to see more efficiency, more free cash flow, which is super excited. Adjusted EBITDA up 21%. This is all super crucial. Free cash flow was 11 billion in this quarter. Guys, what company do you see producing $11 billion in one quarter of free cash flow? That's amazing on the backdrop of what's happening in China. That's why I'm super happy. This will allow Alibaba to keep buying back shares as they have $55 billion in the bank and they're producing cash at this frequency. That's why I'm not too worried about the whole stock price going down. As long as Alibaba does its job and keeps buying shares, I don't think it bought enough this quarter, but I'm very hopeful that they're going to continue the buyback. They have a $40 billion program. They're probably going to up it next quarter as you're seeing that Alibaba stock keeps going down. So I'm super excited. As I said, 55 billion plus in cash. So I am not even worried about what's happening with the stock right now as they're going to continue to buy back shares. So Alibaba produced $11 billion of free cash flow on a $235 billion market cap. So I'm going to assume that Alibaba is going to generate $30 billion of free cash flow for this year. I think that's a good estimate because they just produced $11 billion in one quarter. So let's give them $30 billion for the year. That is a 12% yield. If you're getting 12% yield on your money in like real estate or any kind of business deal, you would run after that opportunity. That's not including growth of the Alibaba business, especially with the whole zero COVID policy. Wasn't able to grow as efficiently because the Chinese consumption was down. So what happens when that picks back up again? Alibaba is just going to explode. Customer management revenue is going to grow back to where it's supposed to be because it was like down 8% this year. A lot of people are returning their products from Alibaba just because of the whole backdrop of the Chinese consumption that year. The customer management revenue is going to return to positive this year, in my opinion. But remember, there's still risk to China. There's still risk investing in Alibaba because the political risk is getting higher and higher, in my opinion. People are afraid. People are going crazy over the Taiwan and China kind of invasion, Russia, Ukraine. So we might have to face these challenges for the next 2 to 3 years. But if you're investing in Alibaba for the next 10 years, 15 years, if you don't have to retire, what are you worried about? It doesn't really matter what the stock price is trading today, as long as we get these doubles, these triples into the future. So guys, what do you think about this Alibaba report? I can't find anything bad about this report because I'm expecting the future to be super bright as the Chinese consumption picks back up. If we go into Q4 and Q1 and then Q2, the customer management revenue doesn't pick back up or the revenue is still down, then I can see it's time to worry for Alibaba. But when I see that, then I can make new assumptions. So guys, tell me what you think about this video, like it and subscribe to my channel.